Okay, there's an old Taoist proverb that says, a wounded hand should never touch poison. So let's talk about what that means. If someone is sick or has an ill intent or is ill in their spirit or in their intention, if they were to touch another person who is vulnerable, meaning a wounded person, they could infect them. Okay, the same as if I were to have an infectious disease, be in the hospital, and allow my mother or father to come in without a mask or protection, hug them, kiss them, cough all over them. That shows zero regard for their well-being or health, right? And in fact, there's many people who will do it. There's many people who have boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, husbands, and they get sick and they're willing to get sick for the other person, when in fact, that's not what God intends for us at all. Why would I want to be taken care of or helped by one who is just as sick as me? If I'm violently throwing up, if I can't get up out of bed, why would I want to give that to my caretaker? I would want my caretaker not to experience what I'm going through, but to be able to have a clear mind and not be wounded, not be ill, so that they can take care of me with understanding of what I'm going through, right? A lot of people going through illness or issues may wish their doctors or their parents, I wish you knew how I felt. I wish you knew what I was going through. How does that solve your problem? Would you want your doctor or your ambulance to experience what it feels like to have a broken leg as they get you to the hospital? Many people are this way. And in relation to jiu-jitsu or to grappling or MMA, a lot of the times is we get into grappling with a dirty mind, a dirty spirit, a dirty body, an unclean presentation and an unclean intent. We want to go in there and hurt someone. We just got off the road, we have road rage, we get in there and we're rolling with friends, but our anger for the person that cut us off is coming out in our roll, and we're cranking kimuras and letting go after 3 or 4 seconds of the person tapping, not realizing that we're ill, right? So it's super important to understand that when a wounded hand touches poison, you are automatically infected, and it goes the opposite way around. Because if you're well and you're in your life feeling well, or you're on the mat clean, you got your gi clean, you're smelling good, you're looking to have a good time, you're having fun, you're laughing with your friends, and you feel the energy and presence of a person who comes in who just wants to win or bully or overcome other people, and you go ahead and you roll with that person, and then that person's ill intent of beating you allows you to change your energy and game and start turning it into a competition, injury is going to happen because the egos start to clash and you lose your game, which is non-ill intent. It's non-malicious. It's loving. It's calm. It's relaxed. And it actually is the game that would have beaten the ill-intended person. But because you fell into the trap of the infectious disease by allowing yourself to touch that person or roll with that person, now his or her disease has transferred onto you, not just through their sweat, not just through their bad or ill intentions, but the things they've done to you have pissed you off and ruined your day. You go home, you have a ruined day, you spread your ruined day, right? So let's talk about the concept of being in disease or being infected while dealing with conflicts on and off the mat. We have to be sure and certain that before we step foot on these mats, that not only is our body clean, but that we've meditated or prayed, cleared our mind, that we're not thinking about yesterday or tomorrow, we're thinking about the present. We're looking to learn and have fun because that's what winning is. We're not looking to win, we're not looking to beat, because these are our training partners, and when you win and beat your training partners, they don't want to train with you. So you lose training partners, and you have to go hop from gym to gym and make your career be an MMA fighter where you're cross-training everywhere. Or you can come into your gym with this attitude, maintain this attitude, continue to learn, continue to grow. As people are progressing, winning, and losing, everyone grows together, and you probably will be just as great as you wanted to be if you wanted to be an MMA fighter, or you wanted to be a grappling competitor, or you just wanted to be someone who understands self-defense and able to defend and control a situation, control themselves, take care of their family, and practice all these principles of awareness, etc. Now, when you come into the mat with the ill intent because you're angry or you want to win or you have a goal in mind, and everybody in front of you is just a step that you're looking at, like, I got to get over this hump. I got to beat this brown belt to know how to be a black belt. I got to beat this purple belt to call myself a purple belt or a brown belt. Beating people and treating people as dummies is not going to get you anywhere but alone. With maybe some medals and maybe a house, I don't know what you might get out of it, but you're not going to have real true friendships. You're going to have to pay for them for the rest of your life, or you're going to have fake people that are just like you who want what you have as your friends. And in the end, when you're sick and you're no longer on top, they don't need you anymore because they're only looking at you to gain your knowledge, gain your understanding of the craft, and laughing at your jokes because they want to win too. They want to learn what it is to win. And once they've drained you of everything you got nothing left. So true wealth comes with true health. So inviting health spiritually, mentally, and physically into your conflict resolution on and off the mat is only going to invite a wealth and health of people and mindsets that are like yours, that create your own little bit of heaven on earth, which is what our job is. We want heaven on earth. And if we have to wait till God for that to happen, it's not that hard to create a world in which you have a small piece that other people can see and bask in, which is not based on selfishness. It's all based on the fear of God and fear of no man, and the fear and love of God, and understanding that being clean and being humble, being righteous and knowing when you're wrong, admitting when you're wrong, and always trying to approach your problems the way God would want you to do it, right? And that's a whole nother chapter of understanding. But you can imagine if you go ahead and just read the commandments, or you want to read some of the word of Christ, think about how God would want you to handle your difficulties. Sometimes you just need patience. You got to wait it through. Sometimes you have to go ahead and be angry and cuss because the time limit and how long you got to go through something, but don't lose faith that you'll get out or that it's for a reason. Sometimes we got to stay sick for a long period of time, but that doesn't mean we have to make other people sick, right? So just because you've been sick and feel like crap doesn't mean everybody else needs to feel like crap. Doing that to other people is only going to keep you alone. If you're feeling sick or you're going through chronic issues like I did, on my 6th year, I realized I had no friends. People would turn me away. They'd say, hey man, you want to go out? And I'd be like, of course I don't want to go out, bro. I could barely get up. Why would you even ask me that question? I got a headache every day, blah, blah, blah. My attitude was just terrible. It needed an adjustment and I wanted to die. And that's the presence that I gave off. I gave off the presence of someone who is, I was once called miserable. I was called miserable. I didn't want to go out. I was about 26 years old, and there was a girl at this party that I really liked for almost 5 years, and I had a chance to sit down and talk to her, and she literally told me that she liked me too, and I couldn't believe it. And she said to me, but I would never date you. And I said, why? And she said, because you look miserable. And that was a huge opening to me, because I had been miserable without understanding that I was transferring that energy to everyone around me, until I decided and realized that no matter how I feel, I don't want to be by myself and miserable. So I had to get over a hump and learn to deal with what I was going through and manage what it took to be favorable in the choices that I made onward from there, and to seek the help that was necessary in order to not infect other people. So how does this apply to your jiu-jitsu? Okay, so number one, if someone is more skillful than you, stop using all your strength and energy to try to fight this person who is more skillful than you, who doesn't need to use strength and energy to control you, because you're just creating ill intent. And if this person is smart, they're going to calm down when you turn up. And by you turning up, you're giving energy they need to make you sicker and manipulate you until they submit you. So they're going to constantly defend themselves against your contagious attacks and contagious activity and contagious habit of forward aggressive movements and aggressive attacks. They're going to defend that until you are tired. And then when they get on top, there's nothing else you can do except admit your loss. So quit that, because it's not going to help you. And if you're dealing with somebody who's doing that to you and you have developed a skill set of understanding not to let yourself get poisoned by touching them, because you come into the mats clean with no wounds, with no malintent, with no sickness in your heart, so nothing else can make you sicker. You don't allow that sickness into your mind or into your spirit or into your body. But that person is coming at you 110% with full ill intent, trying to attack, trying to choke, trying to armbar you, and you can just feel the maliciousness in them. Your job is to calm down and solve your problem and solve that issue with jiu-jitsu. So using a calm energy accepting strategy while defending yourself from being sick. So you settle the problem with the opposite. You tame their ill intent and their contagious sickness the way we would want to help our children, or the way God would have cured someone who was sick, through love and humbleness. Love and humbleness doesn't come from being 10 times more aggressive than them. That's just going to make them more angry and think that they need to be more aggressive to beat you on the next round. Learn to submit the opponent beautifully, calmly, the way the boat submits to the wind, the way we submit to an earthquake, the way we submit to a storm. Even if it is a storm, it shouldn't feel malicious. It should feel like that's just the way your jiu-jitsu is. And being kind, even when you have full control of that person. Don't just submit them really quickly. Control them. Let them get calm. Let them tire out. Let them get all that sickness out. Let them get it all out. Control them, control them, control them, control them. Forget the time limits. Control them. And use your calmness and your happiness and tell jokes while you control them. Hold them and laugh with them while you control them. Ask them, how are you feeling after the roll? Give them a high five. Talk to them. Hey, what's up, man? That was a lot of aggression. What's going on? Are you okay? That's the way you help another person out of their sickness and teach them to have wonderful jiu-jitsu. It's the same way we do in life. Someone steps on your shoes at the gas station, they were sick before they met you. Or you step on their shoes by accident and they turn around and now they want to kill you over that, or they're threatening to attack you and all kinds of things. Their battle was way before they stepped on your shoes. There was a lot of things that led up to that moment. So they're not looking to beat you. They're looking to let out their anger and aggression at one certain point in moment. And that gives them a chance and an opportunity right there. And if you are a jiu-jitsu practitioner, you know that it's best to calm down the aggression with confident chillness, right? I don't know what the term would be, but you would be confident in your response, apologetic for whatever you did, but not apologetic weak, apologetic with understanding that you were wrong, and listening and telling the person, hey, I don't want any problems with you, my friend. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Are you all right? You want to talk? Are you upset about something else? Is it me that you're angry with? Man, I've been there. I understand, Love sword. Remember, the love sword versus the hate sword. Someone can only carry a love sword if they don't take their sicknesses out on another person. If I was waiting in that line angry about something from earlier and sick, or angry about something that's going on in my personal life, and then stepped on someone's shoes by accident, and then they had the same problem, what do you think is going to happen? Two trains collide, right? Which only increases more problems. Police, injuries, hospitalization, incarceration, charges. So many things can happen just from one accident, right? That we spoke about, the traffic of human beings in life. We're all going in different directions and different planes. There's no stop signs. There's no go signs. We just have to kind of have a really true understanding of the motion and movement of what's around us, not what's 10 miles away, but what's within our present area, so that we don't have these accidents in our day, whether they be on the mat or in your life. So the final thing I'll say about making sure you don't allow another person's sickness to become your own, or let another person's game take over your own. If you've got a slow, controlled, old school, I'm going to wait for you to go and then I'm going to put you in my half and just let you move around, and then I'm going to help you go where you want to go, and once I mount, I'm going to hold you there until you give me your arm. If that's your game, keep your game. Don't fall for the 21-year-old spazzy, flipping, moving the legs, running around, Toriando passing, trying to do athletic front flip stuff. Especially if you're a 50-year-old man, just because you're jealous and you wish you could move that way, or you used to move that way, you're only falling into the trap of trying to be like that person, which is going to cause you to fail. Stick to your calm game. Okay. And also, don't be lesser of your talents just to appease another person. This is in the same realm. Sometimes, just because I'm sick, or just because my mom's sick, or my son's sick, or my wife is sick, doesn't mean that I need to fall down with them and lay in the bed and, oh, I understand what you feel, and serve them and bring them food and be this caretaker that takes care of everything. It's super important that I still stand up, get my butt up, and do my best in my day. Take care of my work, take care of my responsibilities, make sure they have what they need. If I see that one is well enough to be able to reheat the soup that I cooked, allow them to reheat it themselves. Don't heat it yourself. If they have enough strength to walk to the bathroom, they have enough strength to reheat their soup. If not, you're only weakening another human being. And this world is not meant for the weak. This world is controlled by the devil, and it was allowed by God that the devil be able to be in control of this world. So whenever this world comes at you with some horrible crap, remember that God permitted it. And that way, you don't have to get that mad. Just expect nothing less. The world's not going to give you a good life. It's not going to give you good things in return. Your treasures are in heaven. Your treasures are spiritual. Your treasures are that which you share with God and God alone. Okay, so when you have your treasure in your heart being your family, God, heaven, peace, understanding, and all of your commandments, and trying your best not to sin, and always trying to reset and do right, whether it be in your conflict resolutions in your life, or in your fights on the mat, or in your fights in a ring, or whatever it is that where you have put yourself, or you find yourself in a position where you could potentially get sick or injured. It is definitely your job to take control of yourself and understand that you cannot do God's work. You can do as much as you can do, be as the best that you can be in the situation, and do not overextend yourself and get sick for another person. Don't hug someone who has a contagious disease and give them a kiss just because you love them. I don't care if they're your grandma. I don't care if they're your child. I don't care if they're your mother. It doesn't make sense. Why get sick? Why get sick for them? Just to prove you love them? It's totally understandable that if you have a family member you love, especially a child who gets afflicted with something that makes them very sick, to say, God, I wish you chose me instead of them. But you don't control that. God does. Now, if God chose one of your family members or someone you know to be upset, sick, chronically ill, whatever it may be, especially if it's contagious, you cannot allow that to make you a weaker person. If I weaken myself on the mat and roll like a white belt all the time, just because people don't like the way that I roll, because they feel they're getting crushed, or they feel they can't move, they feel it's too difficult to beat me, and so they don't want to be my friend or roll with me, that doesn't mean that I'm the one that's making them sick. Their ego is the one that's making them sick. I'm not the one that's in control of that. I can't make them change their ego, and I should not change my jiu-jitsu if it's working well. Now, if I slow down and I want to help someone learn and I'm being playful, that's understandable. But if I'm rolling with somebody that they're a competitor, they want to learn, they want to get good, it's not my job to roll weaker and give them submissions and let them beat me just so that I can have a friend, just because I'm lonely, or just because I want people to like me. Don't let yourself get sick for other people just because you want to feel like, we're all sick, right? Let's all be sick together so we can all like each other. That's all crap. Do not do that. Don't do it in your life, and don't do it on the mat. I promise you, this is coming from my experience, And it's a heavy experience that I've went through, and I'm still practicing it, still trying not to be that type of person. And if I could go back and give myself the advice over again, the way I'm trying to give it now to you guys through this channel, this is what I would tell myself. And I would have saved myself many years of sickness and many years of, I don't like to curse, forgive me for it, but many years of bullshit that I didn't have to deal with and I didn't have to put myself through. Put myself through that, not God. I gave it to myself. Okay? So feel loving and deserving enough for yourself to not allow yourself to get sick through anyone, whether you like them or you don't. Stay safe, protect your heart, like it says in the Bible, guard your heart, guard your spirit. And if you're going to extend yourself to help somebody else, do not get sick by doing it. Don't allow their sickness to pull you into the hole. If a person wants to get out of a hole, they're going to be trying to get out of the hole. They're not going to be pulling you in it. You can extend your arm in there and try to pull them out, or they can pull you in. Remember, they got more leverage. So before you stick your arm in there, throw a rope in there. Tie some knots. Throw a rope down there and see if they actually want to climb out. If you see them having a problem climbing out, go ahead and extend your arm and make sure they're using the rope too. Because if that person's not trying to help get themselves out of the hole, they just want to bring you in the hole with them. Trust me. Trust me. They do. Everybody feels better about themselves and how sick they are when there's other people around them suffering the same exact way. Okay? So if you want to help somebody and extend yourself, don't get sick in the process. And don't do it to other people if you're sick. Clean your mind, clean your spirit, clean your body before you get out in life and be on the road, at your job, before you get home to your family. Pray, whatever you have to do to cleanse yourself before you get anybody else dirty and sick. And do the same before you get on those mats. And I promise you, your jiu-jitsu and your life experience will be that much for the better. Take care, everybody.